Hey, everyone. It's time for another problem on order of operations. I hope it's going well for you. If you have questions, make sure you leave me some comments so I can help you if you need help. Now, remember, what's the first thing we do for every problem? I'm listening. I think I hear the answer. Yes, we've got to read the problem out loud or to yourself. But why don't you read it out loud? Because I'm going to listen to you as you listen to me. So here we go. Negative 2 raised to the 4 minus 3 times, there's nothing between the number and the parentheses, so that means times the quantity. The quantity 6 minus 10 squared. So now we've read the problem so we can get right to work. So I go up here to my Pemdas, and what do I see first? Our little p, which means parentheses. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to rewrite the problem up to the parentheses. Minus 3 times. Now, when I look at parentheses, I've got 6 minus 10. Well, the way I like to do it is I like to circle the number with the sign in front of it. So this is a positive 6 because there's nothing in front of it. And this is a negative 10. So if I have 6 positives and 10 negatives and I cancel them all out, I'm left with 4 negatives. So that's what we get here, a negative 4. And because our answer is squared, I must put this negative 4 in parentheses to remember to square the negative also. So there we go. We are done with parentheses and ready to move on. So after parentheses, we've got to take a look at those little exponents. So we're looking at our E for exponent. So here is an exponent and here's an exponent. So we're going to do that next. We have to be careful when we start here. This negative, we need to bring it down because the negative is not taken to the 4, only the 2 is. And when I do 2 to the 4, that's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 16. So I'm going to replace 2 to the raised to the 4 with 16. Now I've got minus 3 times. Now it's negative 4 raised to the 2. So the whole thing is squared. So it's negative 4 times negative 4, which is 16. So I'm going to replace this with 16. Do you see the difference here? I want to go on till I'm sure that you see the difference. When I did this part of the problem, I only took the 2 to the 4 because the negative is on the outside. So I brought that negative down. Here, the whole thing is squared. So I had to take negative 4 times negative 4, which gave me a positive 16. Now we're done with our exponents. Woohoo! And we're moving on to multiplying and dividing. And how do we do those? Who remembers? Yes, we have to go left to right. All right, so we're gonna go all the way over to the left part of our problem and we're gonna start reading it to the right. And if we see any multiplying or dividing, we're gonna stop and do it. So I've got negative 16 minus, look what we have here. 3 times 16, 48. So I have to do that. Now we've done all the multiplying and dividing. I'm going to cross those babies off. And we are left with adding and subtracting. Remember, same rules as multiplying and dividing. We go left to right. Left to, that's kind of a messed up 2. I should back that up a little bit. I want to make that neater. Left to right. So we're going to go all the way to the left of our problem and start there. Now, again, when I'm adding integers, I like to circle them with the sign in front of them. So I've got 16 negatives. A minus and a negative are the same thing. Don't forget that. So I'm going to circle this. I've got 48 negatives. So if I have 16 negatives and I give you 48 negatives, how many negatives do I have altogether? Well, if I add those up, I get 64. So my answer is negative 64. So what do you notice here? When the signs are the same, as you can see, they're both negative. You bring down the sign, and then you just add the two numbers, 16 plus 48 is 64. I hope this went well for you. You may want to just sit back and watch it. Instead of writing everything down, just watch it. Look at the order of operations. Make sure you understand what the parentheses are and the exponents. The exponents is that little number. But just take your time and do some problems. If you have any questions, I am here for you. Please leave me a comment. Thank you for taking the time to watch this, and I hope you'll subscribe. Have an awesome day.